in the villages, the women work side by side with men. Like, they do all the hard work, but it doesn't come on the national grid. It doesn't get registered into a computer, that they are working. So, the government has taken a number of measures. It's given tax holidays, it's gone into a lot of fiscal discipline, it's in the 2025 vision which we have, there is at least, I think, an 8 or a 9-point agenda of trying to bring in investments and also of increasing our trade, because the question is not only of bringing investments in, it's also a question of trying to increase your exports to other countries. For that reason, now we are in the process of also exploring new markets. Because, even today, when we had this very nice seventh round of our bilateral consultations, I also concentrated on one thing, that, there are areas where we have our traditional partners, whether it is like, the United States, or whether it is the EU, or whether it is like the Middle East. But, to actually go to the takeoff stage, you need to explore new markets. Just like in Europe, for the last so many years, everybody was like, trading with one another. Like, you weren't trying to explore areas and markets which were like, 5,000 kilometers or 7,000 kilometers away from you. We are in the same position now. Because like, at times it becomes very easy not to produce a thing yourself, but to actually value add. So in a lot of negotiations I've been involved in, and commerce is not my subject, but like, I get pulled into a lot of things, I don't know why. But we always talk to people that, you should not look at just mere exports. You should look at joint ventures. Because when you look at joint ventures, you bring in something, we bring in something, it value adds. And it's a win-win situation for everyone who actually becomes part and parcel of that particular project. So that is what we are looking at. And I personally feel that given the resources which we have, given the type of manpower and the type of dedication which we have, we can at least double the current trade which Pakistan has with other countries. And now, when I talk about areas, because like, previously there were certain areas which we never concentrated upon. We never concentrated upon foods. We never concentrated upon halal food. We never concentrated upon, trying to export, fisheries. I know there are also problems in that, like, there are some psychosanitary restrictions which come in and all that sort of stuff, but there's nothing which cannot be bridged. So like, I think these days, it's not really a matter of taking over territory. I think gone are those days when you want to conquer a country or something. These days, what you want to do is you want to conquer markets. You actually want to have access to markets by virtue of which, you will be able to increase your per capita income. You will be able to provide employment to people. You will be able to better the lifestyle of people. So I think that is what the entire game is today. And that is the game which we really want to play. Like I said, that, we are quite close to, I don't want to use the word winning, but I think we are quite close to eradicating this menace of terrorism and extremism. Because once this thing goes out of the window, then people would also want to invest in Pakistan. Because right now, I was based in Sweden for 4 years, I tried to send a lot of people did go. But how the companies went? Because, you know, if it was a Swede who was going to go, the insurance premiums are very high. So they actually got a Pakistani to go for them. But then it's not the same thing. So, like, you know, I think, and it becomes a complicated situation. And again, I take you to Afghanistan. Like, I mean, should there be political stability or should there be social and economic development? It's that debate between the chicken and the egg, which one first. But in our case, yes, we need to move forward on trade. I think that really is the key, because that provides the basic edifice of development of one, the infrastructure, and then it leads to a development of the human resources, and it leads to a better quality of life for the people, and I think that is what the people of Pakistan want. They're not concerned about the strategic implications of something. I've actually gone and interviewed people that, what do you want to do? They said, you know, what we want is our children in school, good hospitals, you know, moving towards a social welfare state sort of a concept. But, you know, all these things can be done when you address these problems, and these problems I think we can address in the coming years. I hope I've answered your question, because your question is pretty.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Minister. Well, dear colleagues, I'm sure that you enjoyed this Q&A session. I think we have learned a lot. I'm sure also that you know, looking at a certain area which was and is still so disputed, you might have different views. I remember one of the disputes inside the decision-making system in the United States some years ago, during the Musharraf regime in Pakistan. And Condoleezza Rice was unhappy that Musharraf was wearing the uniform of a general. And the people from the intelligence community were very keen to be in touch with their counterparts, because they were interested in the situation in Afghanistan. So it depends very much how you look and which are your own objectives. But I think now we have heard which are the objectives of Pakistan, because the other powers, I'm sure, around or in the world, they have their own ideas, objectives connected with Pakistan. Romania should try to develop at least the economic links. Before '89, there were some connections, as I remember, and they should continue eventually. Politically, also, I'm sure that there are good opportunities, and that's why I'm very indebted to the minister, to the embassy, that they organized this very interesting debate here. So once again, I want to thank the distinguished ambassadors and diplomats who came to our discussion here, and I'm sure that we should be able to organize some more debates on some of the issues which are now of concern for all of us. Once again, thank you very much, and I wish you a very pleasant weekend. Thank you.